version number 2 of the 909. First of all, I give you a quick start how to use this device really quick. So you can drop it into your Ableton session from anywhere you like. I have the folder defined here in Ableton where my devices are, the folder content you see here. And because I show you quick what happens when you drop the device for the first time, it will then create, as you can see in the second, 3 files like settings. It's settings 909 where you have some global settings and your kits you already loaded in or had loaded some time ago, whatever. There's a pattern, default pattern, and there's a default kit file which is empty at the moment. So yeah, so these files are created by default if they are not present in the folder. And yeah, let's start. Let's press play. And so you have up here you have the track selection for each instrument. You can select the track like that. You can put some triggers in. Like so. You can also use the tab record to tap in some notes. This is actually what I do the most. You can also use the sequencer grid, where you see all the tracks on one screen now. So you have the track selection here, and as you can see, these are synchronized. You can also inject some trigger by using these presets here. This is the small preset icon here, and you have this on the, I call it classic editor on the device itself. You have these small buttons, these small arrow down, where you can also select the presets. So they're just 10 simple presets you can use. Sometimes they're quite handy, like so. As I said before, you can tap in your notes. You can also use. Let me tell you some. So there are different modes, as you can see on top here, and you have them also accessible here. I tend to use hotkeys like Shift, Control, Command, Option, and Alt. Option or Alt, Control or Command. And so if I press Shift, I have a half accented step like so. If I press Option, I have a flam step. Let me show you quick how that sounds. Maybe I just play the rim shot here. So this is a half accented. These are normal accented steps. This is a flam step. And the flam settings you can use over here. You also have access to the flam settings here, down here. If you press the shuffle flam button, you can set the flams here. You can press your shuffle here. You can use these or these. There is a probability step, which is called by holding Control and Command, and the probability is a track probability, is not a step probability, because step probability you can always use Ableton's MIDI clip for that kind of step. And so here you have the percentage, the probability for each track. You put it down to 0 where no trigger is playing at all. Put it up to 100, so every trigger is playing all the time, and you can do some in between, like 50 or whatever. Double click it will revert to the default settings of 33%, and you can also combine these modes. So if you're lazy holding these keys by yourself, you can just activate them by clicking. So you can have like a half accented flam, like so. You can have half accented probability, like so, and whatever you can imagine. Okay. So there's any combination of these will work. Cool. Beside that, we have the toggle one, which is showing you on which part this is gonna work. And the toggle one is because you have the hi-hat section and the cymbal section is made by samples. They are not samples from some sample library, but they are the readouts from the EEPROMs. So there's no envelope, no filter, and no VCA whatsoever printed in. Everything is done by this device. But you can use the toggle, which actually is the switch here, reverse the samples. You can also have a quick access here, the reverse switching. And the toggle lets you choose which step you want to reverse. Not these ones. Let's clear them. Let's do that. Do it like that. Maybe do some ride. And maybe some. And once you reverse the hi-hat with these buttons, these steps become inversed as well. So the toggle is not playing reverse now, but forward. The other ones are playing the instrument reversed. Yep. So something else with the hi-hats. Let me clear this shortly. On the original machine, once you place some trigger and you put an open hi-hat on a closed hi-hat, actually what the 909 does is it just kills the closed hi-hat like so. Lets you play the open hi-hat. But if you have a step length like 14 or different to the open hi-hat, like 15 something, these steps will never overlap, like so. So there's a switch here which lets you choose which track is dominating. So once you set it to open hi-hat, the closed hi-hat is choked or muted, and vice versa. Okay. So let me show you some features of the instruments. So the kick drum has tuning like on the original one, attack, which is injecting like a pulse click, decay, a little bit longer than on the original machine. Then you can access the second page by clicking on these little buttons here on the right and on the left, or you can just hold Alt or Option to quickly swap the pages. So there we have pitch, which is like a overall tuning. You can go really low. Then we have pitch bend, which is actually exaggerating the tuning, while the tune on the original 909 is doing a little bit more, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I'm quite some time. So there you can sorry, there you can exaggerate like the pitch bending, or you just completely remove it. Then you have noise. Actually is on the original one is linked to the attack somehow. You can inject the noise a little bit more. You have diode because all the oscillators, like on the kick drum, snare drum, low tom, and on the toms, are except of the rip shot, are like triangular waves, so they are sounding like sine wave, but they are not sine waves. They are just shaped by a diode to get near to a sine wave, so you can dial in the amount of shaping here. So yeah, snare drum, you have tuning as well. And you have tone, which is actually the decay of the noise. Of the noise. The noise is snappy, like so. You have balance, which is blending between the higher and the lower pitched oscillator. You have decay of the oscillators. You have a pitch bend, which is quite intense on the snare drum. You can decay the pitch curve as well here, like a short decay, more snappy, or longer, more laser-like. If you go with a pitch bend a little bit lower, there's a certain point where it just reverses the envelope. So you can have these whoop whoop, these from bottom up pitch bend curves. Same goes for the low tom and mid tom and high tom, where you have these pitch bend. These are not so intense like on the snare drum. But you see, if you put it down, you can also have these from up and down, from up the bending. You can detune the other oscillators. On the toms, yeah, the bending curve decaying as well. Attack is like a short noise burst. You can completely put it down. Decay. Tuning, which goes really low compared to the original one. So if you are dialing in some crazy you can really have some kick drums or some bass sounds out of it. Same goes for the mid tom, high tom, except the decay curves are a little bit shorter on, like on the low tom, but everything else is like the same. Rim shot, you have let me put some trigger in. You have tuning, decay, you have tone, which is actually a blending between the first revision and the fourth revision, where they just alter the volume of one oscillator. So one oscillator is getting louder in the last revision of the 909, so it seems to sound a little bit brighter. So you can just blend between these modes. You can detune the oscillators as well, because the rimshot is also 3 oscillators. You have a high pass, you have a clip, so you can really do some crazy shit with it. Yeah. So double clicking on the top row or here resets the instrument to its default values, while holding shift and control or shift and command and clicking will just randomize this one instrument. Double click, reset. Clap. Offset, because the clap is just for sawtooth trigger, for sawtooth. Actually, they look more like an AD envelope on noise. So they are just for trigger. With offset, you can change the distance, make them shorter, whatever. Then you have tail, which is the last sawtooth decay. Decay is the complete decay with also the reverb section. Can really put it down to just have some clicks. Reverb level, filtering, which sounds a little bit like tuning the click, the clap. Then you have the amount of claps. As I said, it starts with 4, and if I open up the decay, you can have more claps. Use it with offset, you can have some rattle sounds. Yeah, so that's the high clap. Closed hi-hat. Closed, open, crash, and ride are almost the same, except for the samples. So you have tuning, which you don't have on the original one. On the hi-hat section, you just have tuning on the crash and the ride. So you have tuning here. Decay. You can put it to reverse. Actually, if you put it to reverse, it's not just reversing the sample, but also shifting the envelope, the sample start, so that you always have some sound playing. Otherwise, you may end up just playing like the little portion of the sample you don't really hear if you play it reversed with a short envelope. So, and you have a high pass, you have a high cut, and in the original machine are these errors I said already before, is setting the track to dominant, so all the time the close hi-hat is playing no matter if there's an open hi-hat, and vice versa. So every open hi-hat is playing, and no matter if there's a close hi-hat set. Tuning as well, open hi-hat, decay, reverse, high pass, low cut, high cut. And there are 3 EEPROMs on the 909 which are holding the samples. So the closed and the open hi-hat is they share one EEPROM. The crash has its own and the ride has its own. So you have as well the sample clock of the EEPROM, where you can just dial in or set your master tuning. So this is also the reason why so many 909s have a different tuning in the hi-hat section. So you may have noticed on if you have an original machine that some machines have some higher pitched hi-hats and some lower pitched, and this is all about this sample clock, because the components on these machines have so high tolerances, so up to 5% or whatever, and so these machines differ in tuning because of the components. So you can set your master clock or your main tuning by these sample clocks, so that you have, every time you press or double click on the tuning and you set it to the center point, you have your master tuning set like that. Okay. So yeah. Accent is just a volume or level accent, so there's no sound at all. And on the mixer section or the master section, there's also like this summing thing, which is just mimicking a little bit like the stereo out from the 909, because they running every instrument through op amp, which is band limited, and so this is actually just injecting some low and some high cuts, just to mimic some kind of op amp on the master section. Also there's a phase reverse on the master one. You may notice this by having some bassy sounds like the kick. It's a little bit fuller if you have this one deselected. Also there is the volume section. There's some special mode. If you hold shift while dialing, you can saturate or put some distortion. Oh, I see there's a little bugger. This one should have a number there, but anyhow, it will be there on the release. No worries. So this is actually the button where you can randomize the kit. Once you store a kit in the slots like so, you can really do some crazy kits. Or reset to the default. Yep. One thing is, if you press set on this one starts blinking and lets you choose which part of the instrument should be randomized, like so. You can just set these, and then you see only the chosen parameters are randomized. So you can restrict some parameters of being randomized. So as I did on on default for the levels already. Okay. So yeah, next is some sequencer features. Okay. Having some sequencer functions now here. Let me start with a clear pattern. I'm just choosing the pattern number 2, which is free. So in the prior version, you needed to shift-click on a slot to save the actual pattern or to save the kit. This is not the case here. Once you put in some notes, you see that slot gets filled. So there's no need to shift-click anymore. Just starting with a simple kick. I'm just tapping in some notes. You can shift the patterns, the tracks like so, using the arrows up here, or you have the small arrows here as well. And if you have some different track length, it will just use this content to shift around the track. So if I put some more, you see, it's just shifting the content you see. So if you have some toggles set already, you can also set some toggles on some empty parts. And while doing so, you can hold shift while shifting these back and forth. This will just shift the toggle states, the toggle steps. And if you have some more, let me just put some notes in. And if you hold Control Shift or Command Shift, doesn't matter, you can shift all these toggles around. So you can you can also alter the track length, so you have like 12 steps on this one, or maybe you have like 17 steps on this one, and this will only have 15. So yeah, you can have some really interesting things going on. Some probabilities here. Put them down a little lower, maybe like on 8 here and 10 here, so they don't play so often. Put them down to 40, maybe here. Let's put a crash. Actually, I don't like the crash, but anyhow, it's there. Have it reversed. and we put this to 64 steps, so each track can have up to 64 steps. You can toggle between the pages. Page A is step 1 to 16, B is 17 to 33, and so on up to 64. So if I have, let me expand this a little bit, maybe to 60, to 26. So you can really have some crazy variations going on while using the different step length. There is, let me show you quick, there's an auto function for each track which will inject some random notes automatically. So no matter if you have steps in the track, it will play some trigger notes randomly. And the difference to the probability is if I have, let me say, let me quick go to the rim shot. Maybe it's a bit clearer with the rim shot. So if I have probability set, so let me set them to 100. So each trigger is playing now, and if I put it down to 0, no triggers playing. But if I put in some auto, the auto function is only valid for steps where no step is present. So it's just injecting random steps at empty steps. So you can also use the probability to mask out some trigger. So if you choose like that, only the auto trigger only happens here in the first and the third part of the pattern. Like so, yeah. And additionally, you can use random to place some trigger, and also once you place some trigger and you hold one of these hotkeys like half, flam, or probability, and you click on random, it only will alter the already placed trigger. So there are no new triggers injected, but only the trigger you already set are altered by the random function. So copy paste. Copying a pattern is quite easy. You just select the pattern you want to copy and click on an empty slot while holding Shift, and there you go. Pattern is copied. Let me take this one, put them to 16. If I want to copy a page, you can swap between pattern and page copy here. Why pattern here when I can just use Shift? This is if you have a different kit, a different pattern bank loaded. So let me save this. And I'm saving here this. Let's call it demo 000, whatever. And once I load another pattern bank, maybe I choose this one. I don't know what this is. Okay, this is a different bank. So let's copy this one to the other bank. So you choose pattern here, you copy this, change your bank, select maybe this one, and just paste it. So this is how you can copy patterns between banks. That's why you have the pattern here. While page is just copying the page you selected here. So if I want to copy the page to let's say 64 steps, you can shift click on any of these to extend the pattern to this length. Oops, sorry. So these are now empty, and I can also shift click to the very last one. So all the steps are set to 64 steps now. You go here, copy the page, paste the page, paste the page, and paste the page. That's how it goes. You have Euclidean mode here. Once you select the track, you can raise up the Euclidean to inject some Euclidean style notes. So for those who don't know what's all about these Euclidean, because this is some cryptic for some people, I guess, what it does, it takes the complete track amount of steps, and if you, let's say, choose like 14, it will then try to evenly spread 14 triggers down the complete track with 64 steps length. So that's it. And the cool thing is, once you placed already some triggers and you raise up the Euclidean function like so, you can play around with it, and you can also use the mod wheel as I do so now, the mod wheel on your keyboard. And once you drop it to 0 again, it will restore the previous trigger you already set. So, yep. Then, what do we have next? Yeah, you can rename your pattern here, like so. Just this kit is. If you have kit number 0, this means it's just using the buffer kit, so you don't have any kit selected here. Let's select some empty one. Let's randomize it. Store it. You can rename it like so. You can then assign a kit to a pattern by just choosing your pattern, click on the kit you want to assign, and just press assign. Pressing this one, assign this one, pressing this one, assign this one, this one, assign this. So once this one, the link button is engaged down here and here, the kit is reloaded with a pattern. One thing to mention is it is not saving the complete kit in the pattern, but only the number of the kit. So if you choose to, let's say, demo 00, whatever. If you choose another kit, maybe a strange demo. I don't know what this is. It's nothing in there. Okay, also nice. Maybe this one, funk. Okay, there's a bug. Somehow it's not really loading. Anyhow, this will be fixed before the release. So this is the demo 0. Ah, yeah. Okay, this is a different one then. And here you see that the kit is a different bank, but it's just selecting the kit numbers you assign to the pattern. So then we have the shuffle functions here, and the flam, and also the pattern scale. If you click up here on pattern, you can set them to global. What that means is you can have each pattern you select here having a global shuffle, global flam, or a global scale, while having this down to pattern. The shuffle is, as you might see here, saved in the pattern. Clicking the global will only set once the shuffle. Also here. So this is useful when you play live or whatever and choose some different pattern with some different shuffle or flam settings you don't really want to. I think you have a track like where the shuffle is set to 3 and you don't want to accidentally flip the pattern and the shuffle is going up to 6 or 0. This is completely killing the groove of the whole track. So you can just put this to global and then be sure that the shuffle is not changing while you flipping your patterns here. Yeah, with the reset, you can always reset the kit to its default. And yeah, that's so yeah, loading, storing is like that. Like here you see all the kits you already loaded in. This is the actual kit. Here this is the actual pattern bank, and these are the pattern banks you already loaded. Lets you flip through some different banks, so you're not restricted to 64 patterns or 64 kits. Yeah. So what's next? Yeah, clearing on this side for each track, or initializing a track is, let me choose this one and put it to copy it to 5. So initializing is not only clearing but also resetting everything to its default state. So this is now 16 and so on. Yeah, muting tracks here is cool. soloing like so. Actually, the solo thing is once you select already some tracks, have them muted. It while soloing, it's just soloing now this track, and clicking again is reverts to the last state you have set here, like with the mutes. Yep. Okay, yeah, that's quite it with a sequence of functions. So yeah, you can bind kits. We had that already. Okay, let me think. We have this, copy paste. Oh yeah, one thing is different to copy and paste. While you can copy and paste the page here, you're not able to copy a track. So if you want to copy a track, you have to go down here. So you click on the rim shot, you want to copy, and you click maybe the closed hi-hat, and then you paste. So this way you can paste the track. Okay, cool. Saving a kit is clicking on an empty slot or a slot you like. If you click on a slot which is already filled, it's loading the kit, and once you alter some stuff like that and you click store, it just overwrites the kit slot. Or you can just hold shift and click on an empty slot to just copy it, or copy it on another already set slot. So yeah, that's quite it for the sequencing function. Maybe I show you quick how to change patterns with MIDI, and this is the next we are getting to, is the MIDI stuff. So if you put in the MIDI track like so, and you say like MIDI is going to the 909, and maybe channel, these are the channels. Channel 2 is switching the patterns with your keyboard. So if I now press some keys, the octave is too high, put the octave down. So here you can just switch the patterns with your keyboard while playing. So you can also record things like that. Yeah. So this way you can just record some pattern changes, and even you are not restricted to just change the pattern one bar or whatever. You can change the pattern actually 16 times. You can change the pattern per step as you like. So and on the MIDI channel number 3, you have the same, but with kits. You can just swap the kits while using your keyboard. So you can really have one pattern using different kits in just one bar. Yeah, like so. So, yeah. Next will be MIDI. So next we have the MIDI. This is quite new to both versions of also the TR-808. If you don't know it, it's this machine. So it's almost the same thing, just with the 808 stuff going on. And so this will be also on the 808 while we just dive into the MIDI settings here in the 909 now. As you can see, the start and stop is starting in each bar. So once you click on stop, you hear the metronome is clicking, and it will just start again in the next bar. So it's just synced to the timeline. Okay, so MIDI. Let me clear this one here, or select an empty pattern. So you have these MIDI icons here on the right. So these are these are MIDI out functions. So actually these are similar to the track button. So if I mute the track is not playing, as you can hear or hear not. Now it's playing, now it's not. The same goes for the MIDI. Now it would be playing, and these would be playing the tracks, and this is off. So you can just say which track is playing some MIDI notes by engaging the MIDI icon here. So there you have also the possibility to swap between global and kit. Global is just globally, the settings are globally, so no matter what kind of kit I select, these outs are always the same. Once I switch to kit, and I have, let's say, this one and this one and this one saved in a kit, and here maybe this one and this one and this one there saved in a kit. Once I swap the kit, also the outs will be swapped by changing the kit. So this you can set here between kit and global. Then you can click on this MIDI icon there, or MIDI button. So there you have some quite heavy MIDI settings now. Actually, it's pretty simple. So you have you can choose on which MIDI note the kit is, the instruments are reacting. So let me clear this one, and let me clear this one, and maybe just doing a new MIDI track and maybe another one, whatever. I can then say, yeah, go to 909, track number 1, and if I press this, wait, oh yeah, here, these are the MIDI notes. Now I'm playing this with my keyboard, and these are reacting to the notes you set here. So, you can also put the sequencer off if you just want to trigger the kit. Oh, wait, I just need to select the right. Ah, yeah, here we go. The right octave on my keyboard. So these are the MIDI notes. There you can set the MIDI note you want to react to. This is the MIDI note which is playing when you engage the MIDI out. So let me show you by just using a simple, maybe just a simple operator, whatever. Let me, just put this on this one. Yeah. So this is just a simple operator. It's default. Then you can go and select MIDI in from 909. You select the 909 here, and sequence on. Playing some notes, doing this, and I can also just mute these ones. And if I click on this one, you see already the note is playing, and I can choose either with the arrow keys, or you can use by MIDI learn. Choose the note number on which is the track is playing the notes, and you can also play some more, maybe with a different track length, like so. Put some different note numbers. Maybe use these ones. And these also react on a probability, flam, half accent, and whatever. You can set the note length here. You can short them. Like so. And as the MIDI out mutes, as I call them, can be set by global or by kit. You can also use these note numbers by global or by kit. So once I set these note numbers and I store it in a kit, have some other kits, some different note numbers, maybe some more, and I put some notes in here too. Store it in a kit, and once you record the kit, also the note numbers and the kit mutes if I set this to kit. Is record with the kit. So yeah, that's the way way you can use MIDI notes or MIDI output. You can then, once you set these to the notes you want your kit reacting to, grab these notes. Maybe we put them to global, or you can also put them to kit, and you get MIDI in means that these notes are also reflecting the output. So this way you can then just, let me select this one, and maybe the output, no output at the moment. And this way you can record your drums. And there's another one which may be interesting for recording your drum sessions. If you click on link track MIDI mute, these become unclickable, and the reason why is you linked the MIDI outs with the track mutes here. And what this does is it lets you just record notes while using the track mutes. So this way you can record your pattern, and if you, let me put this sequencer off, and maybe this also, so that everything is on now. If you use this now on the device channel itself, you can replay your pattern or your session once recorded. While using another MIDI channel as example. Changing the kits. So on one channel you have your recordings on the from the triggers, and the other channel you have the kit switching. So yeah, so can do quite some funny things. So next will be there's another MIDI channel. So while MIDI channel 1 is triggering the instruments on the device itself, MIDI channel 2 is triggering the patterns. Channel 3 is triggering the kits, and channel 4 is for the remote remote control. So you can have this one set to MIDI channel 4, and there you can just remote control the device. So if the sequence is on here, I have start stop, which is these two keys here. Once I play, let me stop these first. So yeah. So yeah, this one is stop now. This one is start again, as set here. Then this one is now set to the sequencer open and close, so you can open and close the sequencer with your keyboard or with your controller. Then we have this focus one. The focus one is cool because once you have a really big project and you don't really want to scroll through all the tracks to find your 909 device, you can click on focus, and it puts you right to the channel where the device is loaded. So this is also triggered by a keyboard node, like so. Sequencer open, and this is the focus one. Then you have the link you can use to enable and disable. You have the pages. You can use your keyboard. So these are the four keyboards, 4 keys here. Using your keyboards, scrolling through the pages, and the upper 3 here are the parameter pages here. These are set by default. Then you have track selection up and down, which is set here. You can select the track down, up and down. Then you shift the track with these two. You see that here. Once I select the track, and I can shift the keys like so. Then there is also tap record key, which is the middle one here. So this one and this one is shift right and left, while these are track up and down, and this one is triggering recording a trigger. So and then we have scale up and down, so you can use a keyboard to set the scale up, set the scale down. And the next one is shuffle up and down. Then the next one is flam up and down. So yeah, then we have mute slots. Mute slots, these are slots you can click on here on the mutes, and if you have a pattern playing like that, start it like so, you can have some mutes. With the shift click you can save it to a slot. And so you can have different mute states saved in the slots. While you're hovering over the slots, it shows you which instrument is muted and which is not. While clicking on an empty slot, it will unmute every track. This is the same like when you shift click on the mute button here. It also unmutes every track. So on MIDI, you can select these slots with a MIDI keyboard or unmute. These are the slots here. Here's the unmute, and these are the track mute settings for the. If you go an octave higher, you have the mutes and unmutes for the MIDI outs here for your keyboard, which are set here. And let me switch this octave higher. There you go. You have the track mutes as well. So you can also record them on MIDI channel before as a clip. So yeah, so yes. Euclidean, this is the Euclidean function. You can use your mod wheel to have the Euclidean function on each track, sequencer on off, because there are some people who want to just trigger the instruments from the normal Ableton clips, so you don't need the sequencer, so you can just switch the sequencer off here, so the sequencer isn't running. So you can just use this one for sequencing it with the normal clips. Yeah, I think did I forget? Yeah, reset the controls to its default. You can also, if you just by accident did something weird, you can double click on it and it's will revert to its default setting. MIDI learn is once you engage it, you can then click on some wait. So I have to go to the MIDI channel 4 for sure. So I want to focus here, or the sequencer there. Click on this and click on that, and so I can change some notes. Now they are double triggering something, but anyhow, yeah, just revert them to the normal. So yeah. I see the clip is playing. That's why it's gets weird. Yeah. So clicking on the MIDI learn, click on that, click, and click and click and so on. So you can just use MIDI learn to set these settings from your keyboard out. So I hope I didn't forget something. So yeah. We have this. Yep. So yeah, focus we have here. You can resize your grid sequencer here. Let me think. No, I guess that's all from now. Yeah. So let me. You can clear the mutes here as well. So let me. Maybe I show you now how to use the single outs. This is one thing we didn't cover yet. Okay, yeah. So I get rid of these, and this one too. So let me. So let's focus on the single outs. These are actually no single outs, but out groups. So you just can insert an audio track like so. If you go to the device, to the mixer, or to page number 3 here, you can say, yeah, maybe the hi-hats should be on 7 and 8. Crash and ride is 9 and 10. Clap should be on 5. Maybe the rim should as well. The toms So they are now not playing anymore because I need to go to the audio track. Let me copy this several times, and I choose from external in, I choose the 909, choose the track I want, put in, engage in, same goes here, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and 9 and 10. So yeah, that's how you can use the single outs. Yeah, that's so far so good.